So, after a few pretty turbulent years, it looks like FC Barcelona is back. With a new coach in charge and their finances finally starting to look healthy again, they are poised to be incredibly busy this summer. But with limited funds and, let's be honest, the massive weight of expectation, they are staring down one of the most important transfer windows in a long, long time.
And really, it all boils down to one huge question. Okay, you've got roughly 100 million euros to spend. What do you do? Do you invest that money in a rock-solid defensive foundation for the future? Or do you just go all in, splash the cash on a world-class goal scorer to lead your attack? The choice they make here is going to define their entire season.
So, how did we even get here? Well, the big news is that the club is apparently super close to returning to La Liga's 1-to-1 rule. Now, what that means is, for every euro they bring in, they can spend a euro. It's that simple. And that financial breathing room, combined with the vision of their new coach, Hansi Flick, means Barcelona is no longer just window shopping. They are here to buy. And with that newfound cash, the first item on the shopping list is up front. I mean, with Robert Lewandowski getting older, Barca needs a new striker. But here's the real debate. What kind of striker do they actually need? A creative player who drops deep and links everything together? Or a pure out-and-out finisher? And believe me, this choice is absolutely critical.
Right now, two names are at the very top of the list, and they could not be more different. On one side, you've got Manchester City's Julián Álvarez. He's this technical, really smart forward who loves to drift, drop deep, and create chances. And on the other side, you've got Napoli's Victor Osimhen, an absolute physical beast, a classic number 9 who just lives in the penalty box and bullies defenders.
All right, let's break down Álvarez. Just look at this heat map. See what we're talking about? Look how much time he spends in that left half space, drifting away from the middle. Now, he's a phenomenal player, no doubt about it. But this creates a tactical problem, right? Hansi Flick's system loves to use wingers who whip crosses into a central striker. If your main striker is also drifting wide, who's in the box to finish the play? Now, let's flip that and look at Victor Osimhen. It's a night and day difference. His heat map is just a sea of red right in front of the goal. He is the definition of a fox in the box. He's that physical presence who's always there, occupying defenders, attacking crosses, and giving Flick's system the exact target it needs. And I mean, the goal record speaks for itself. 26 goals in only 29 matches. The man is a pure goal scorer. So this is where it gets a little tricky. While Álvarez is an amazing talent, there's this nagging fear that he could be another Antoine Griezmann situation. You know, a world-class player who just doesn't quite fit tactically. Barcelona has made this mistake before, signing big names that don't actually solve the team's problems, and that's an expensive mistake they just can't afford to make again. But hey, it's not all about the attack. Let's flip over to the other side of the pitch, because Barca is dreaming really big about a player who could completely transform their defense. And that dream, well, it has a pretty hefty price tag. We're talking around 70 million euros. That's the rumored market value for Inter Milan's Alessandro Bastoni, who many consider one of the best defenders on the planet, and, you guessed it, Barcelona's #1 defensive target. Look, Bastoni isn't just any defender. He is this super rare, highly coveted profile. He's a world-class, left-footed center back, and on top of that, he is magnificent at playing the ball out from the back. Just imagine him lining up next to the brilliant young Pau Cubarsí. I mean, that's the kind of partnership that could define a club for a decade. And the best part, word on the street is his camp is actually open to the move. So, this brings us right back to the central problem. Signing a 100 million euro striker and a 70 million euro defender. It's just not possible. It's not happening. Barcelona has to make a choice. They have to pick a strategy and go all in. And that leaves two very clear paths on the table. Path 1 is to build from the back. You go get that elite, game-changing defender. Path 2, you go all in on the attack. You get that guaranteed goal scorer no matter what it costs. So let's look at the build from the back blueprint. In this scenario, Barca spends the big bucks, about 70 million, on Alessandro Bastoni. To fill that striker spot, they get smart, they get cost-effective. They go for someone like Fisnik Aslani, a young forward who fits that pure number 9 profile and has a 29 million euro release clause. The result, a solid defensive foundation. The alternative is the all-in on attack model. Here, you take the entire budget, we're talking over 100 million euros, and you throw it all at Victor Osimhen. For the defense, you have to find a bargain, right? Maybe a free agent like Marco Senesi. Now, he's a solid player for sure, but he's not in the same league as Bastoni. This is your classic high-risk, high-reward strategy.
It's all about firepower. So with these two completely different blueprints laid out, which one is the smarter way forward for FC Barcelona? Which path gives them the best chance to get back to the absolute pinnacle of European football?
Well, according to the analysis, the most intelligent move is to build from the back. Prioritize signing Alessandro Bastoni. You make him the cornerstone of your defense for the next decade. Then you go out and find a striker who fits the profile your team needs, not just the guy with the biggest name or the highest price tag. It's a strategy built on tactical sense, not just star power.
And really, that's what this all comes down to. This transfer window isn't just about one or two players. It's a test of the club's entire philosophy. Are they going to repeat the mistakes of the past, chasing those glamour signings that don't quite fit the puzzle? Or will they finally prioritize building a balanced, coherent team? This summer, we are all going to find out.